Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of UDTV. So do you have any daily rituals? Are your daily routines based on any core principles or what I call pillars? Well, from my experience, the truth about routines is that they are either moving you towards your goals or they're moving you away from them. So today, I'm going to share a conversation that Bob and I had regarding the uncommon truth of how habits and routines impact our life. But before we get started, I want you to remember that the content we discuss and share today is from our personal experience and opinion, and it's provided for your information, education, and entertainment purposes only. So before you make any changes to your routines, just check with your doctor and your healthcare professionals. Otherwise, enjoy the discussion. We'll see you after.
How important are habits and rituals to us living an uncommon form of life?
I mean, we talk a lot about this on our program because habits and rituals are just really actions that we take on a regular basis that either add value to our lives or take something away from our lives. What a privilege it is to wake up in the morning breathing, and then you have a whole day. You got a whole day to max your relationship with your spouse, to work with your kids, to do something special in your business. And those habits and rituals that we have, if they're good habits and rituals, then we got a good shot at having a fantastic day.
You know, I have to live by rituals. One of the opportunities I get as a type 1 diabetic is that if I do not have a procedure, a process, a ritual for how to assess where I am at through blood testing and through my glucometer on a regular basis, and then taking that information and defining a course of action that I need to do to maintain my glucose, my blood sugar levels for the next, say, 2 to 3 hours. And that's really about the time frame that I can have significant impact on it. I can't reach out too far because I can't predict what's going to happen in my life, as none of us can really predict what's going to happen in our life at a moment by moment. And the things that affect our blood sugar are the food that we put in, which is the fuel, the sugar, the exercise, which is, or activity or movement we put into our life, which is what burns the sugar. Then any other form of stress, whether it be mental, physical, emotional, environmental, social, these are the 5 stresses that affect all of us as human beings. All of those burn sugar. And then I got to manage my insulin level, which allows that sugar to be put into my cells and to run my body. It's complex. It's not simple. And if I don't have a process, a habit, a ritual to help guide me, I end up in a medical circumstance. Not sometimes, invariably within 3 hours.
People with diabetes or the pre-diabetic, this happens too. And leaders that run organizations or supervising people often don't realize that people that are running low on energy or people that have diabetes deal with this all the time. But things like they feel weak, they have blurred vision sometimes, they get very irritable. Look, you're yawning right now.
Yes.
You're yawning right now. You feel tired, man. You shouldn't feel tired, but you do feel tired, right? You feel confusion. You don't feel good. You get nausea. It's really hard to perform at work. It's really hard to perform in your family. It's really hard to perform in the community when you've got these symptoms, right? All because of that lack of energy. All because of there's a gap between where your energy should be and the habits and rituals that you've done.
I'm just going to walk through kind of my day and what I do repeatedly, and I'm focusing and I'm assessing. You kind of joked about my yawning there. So when I first wake up, the very first thing I do is I do a basic assessment and I do a blood test. That blood test tells me how much fuel is in the tank, right? And glucose in my blood. And once I know that, I have fact, not how I feel. Because when I wake up in the morning, sometimes I wake up and I feel sluggish, I feel tired, I got a headache, and I'm going, okay, what's going on, right? because that could be signs of many other things in my body as a diabetic, low blood sugar being the main one, or it could be an extremely high blood sugar. But I have to assess it. And once I've done that and I got some facts, I actually can take a breath and go, okay, what is the next thing that needs to be dealt with? And for me, what I do is I take a moment and I drink water. We're 90% water. And I drive my activities around making sure that I'm hydrating. And as you know, Bob, I have one of these big water bottles always around me at all the time, because I'm trying to drink at least 6 of those every day for multiple reasons. It suppresses hunger. It hydrates me and actually gives me energy for the activities that I want to do, especially when we're dealing with 30 plus degrees outside. But even in the middle of winter, I'm trying to drink at least 6 of those because it's flushing out all the bad stuff, and there's so many other benefits of it. Then once I do that, I make a decision on what I need to fuel my body with. And these eating habits that we start our day with are critical. And unfortunately, I used to have really poor eating habits. I went through, as you know, probably a decade or more as I was building my different companies and traveling so much that I hit the Tim's drive-thru or whatever in the morning, would have a coffee, and have a breakfast sandwich or 2. And just that, a double is 150 calories, right? A single is 75. The breakfast sandwiches, when you do that all up, that's a 500 calorie breakfast. The average male that's between, for sake of a better word, 25 to 45, only needs about 2,000 calories.
A day.
Yeah. Exactly. And I consume that before 8 a.m., right? I'm already 25% through, and those choices that we fuel our body with really set up the day. How do we predict what our future is going to be? We create it. What do we really create? Our life. And what our life is the things we do. And the things we do consistently are called habits and rituals. It doesn't need to be painful. And I think that's a big lie that we tell ourselves a lot, is that self-discipline is pain. Let's change our meaning. Let's change our belief around what a ritual is. A righteous ritual is helping you live rightly for you. You get to choose it. Nutrition and hydration are 2. What we're putting into our body, right? The next is obviously our exercise, our movement, what we're doing. Are we sedentary or are we active? And to what level is based on our season of life and everything else. But we need to match the food and hydrations to the exercise. And lastly is rest and recovery. And I think making sure that we're getting enough sleep. The science just screams that you need to be getting that 7 hours. Some people up to 9. But the point is that our rituals and our habits are going to drive our overall health. And stress is ultimately the killer of everything. And you need to set rituals that work for you. And you don't need to go and try to be the Rock day 1. Every day is day 1. Because yesterday's done, tomorrow's not here. We're day 1 of tomorrow. And what we do today is predicting our tomorrow. Build a more balanced approach and wean ourselves off of the bad things and onto the good things and into good habits and rituals. It takes 21 days to break a habit and 66 to replace it with the new one. This isn't me. This is, again, science and tons of programs that you can find online about that. But the aspect of creating daily habits is one of the key pillars of success. Rituals and habits are really just preparation, knowing ahead of time what we're going to do in a given moment or choice or circumstance. Every day, and we're really trying to create really strong rituals. Why? They're the foundation. They're the pillars that we're putting in for our life. And that, and these 4 pillars of taking us time to create intention in your day. Breathe. Do some deep breathing. Read up on gentlemen like Wim Hof or different types of meditation. We're not talking long. It could be anywhere from 2 minutes to 20 minutes. You do that, the science proves that your whole entire biochemical makeup for the day changes. It affects your brain waves. It affects everything. Hydrate and eat clean. Doesn't matter what you eat, but eat clean. Limit all the additive type stuff. If you read the label on a piece of food or a can or anything that you're buying and you don't know what the word is, you shouldn't be eating it. Secondly, you've got to move. I don't care what it is. The ritual has to include these 4 pillars, and that is move every day. And the simplest way that I love is when I'm in a day of meetings, I'm in the office, I get up and I give myself 5 minutes every hour to drop, give me 10 push-ups, go for a walk around the building, whatever it might be. I do something 5 to 10 minutes. When you move your body, it changes the chemistry, it changes your emotion, which creates motion in the right direction. And then lastly, really work to guard your sleep time. You got to make sure you're getting rest and recovery, whatever that be for you. But those 4 things will really transform your life in the daily rituals that we are. So guys, in summary, it's up to us. It's all about choice.
So, where are you at in your life with the 4 pillars and your routines? Are you ready to make the choice to predict your future by creating the rituals that will transform your life? Are you a leader that has achieved most of your goals, but are looking in the mirror and you don't recognize the person you see? You are successful, but you want more. Or do you want your health back? Do you feel alone and don't have anyone that understands your diabetes challenges? Are you ready to reset your life and get a decade of energy, health, and performance back? Well, if you said yes to any of these questions, I want to invite you to journey with me to build your uncommon form of life. Together we can. We can create your map. That's a massive action plan to build the foundations that will improve your energy, your health, and performance, starting now. So I welcome you. Join me. Get into proximity with other uncommon leaders in our mastermind to reset your foundations and live your ideal form of life. Just click the link below, book a free one-on-one session with myself, and discuss how together we can build the foundations of your uncommon form of life. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today. And just remember to click the subscribe button and bell so you don't miss any episodes of UDTV. Remember, you are not alone. Together we can. So take advantage of my free foundation strategy session and transform your life. And until next week, be uncommon.